This is my 2025 F250 Super Duty. It's powered by the high output 6.7 liter Power Stroke turbo diesel that makes 500 horsepower and 1,200 pound-feet of torque. Now I use my Super Duty regularly to tow my 32-foot enclosed trailer with my Drift Mustang, and I just love the way this truck just works. Now in all of my cars and trucks, I've ran K&N intake systems or the K&N drop-in filters. Now the K&N next gen intake systems are hands down my favorite intake systems from K&N, and I figured it's time to show the Super Duty some love, so today we're going to install one. But first, let's go over some quick product highlights. First up is the next gen intake box. It's a semi-enclosed box that helps lower air temperatures, and it has an enlarged fresh air inlet for better airflow. And right next to it, the bread and butter, the K&N filter. Now this is an oversized dry flow filter with quick lock technology for fast installation, and that's what's new with the next gen intake. It's super easy to install, and you can't miss the K&N colored bars here. That completely sets it apart. I love that. And right next to it, we've got the large diameter tube. It features strategically positioned air channels that increase airflow, boosting airspeed and giving you more air, which means more power. Now everything comes together in one kit, and lastly, you get all of the hardware. Now as you can see, next gen intakes do not require a ton of hardware, and that is one reason why I love them, aside from the fact that they are aesthetically pleasing. So with that said, let's get it installed. Believe it or not, I memorized all that from reading the website. Turn off the ignition and disconnect the negative battery cable. Disconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection and unhook the wiring harness from the air filter housing. Loosen the hose clamp that secures the factory intake tube to the turbo inlet pipe. Remove the pin that secures the fresh air intake duct, then remove the duct from the vehicle. Release the 3 clips that secure the air filter housing lid, and then remove the lid, intake tube, and air filter from the vehicle. Remove the bolt securing the air filter housing, then remove the housing from the vehicle. Remove the 2 bolts securing the air filter housing bracket to the inner fender, then remove the bracket from the vehicle. Attach the filter clips to the pleats on the air filter. Align them and push down. Passenger side filters, place orange clip on top and red on bottom. Install the K&N air filter partially into the K&N air filter housing. Install the housing and filter assembly into the vehicle. Then secure the housing to the inner fender with one of the bolts from step 7, and do not tighten this bolt just yet. Install the provided gasket onto the K&N mass air sensor adapter. Then remove the mass air sensor from the factory housing and install it into the K&N adapter using the provided hardware. Install the mass air sensor assembly into the K&N intake tube so the opening of the sensor is towards the filter end of the tube. Install the hump hose provided all the way onto the K&N intake tube and slide back with the hose clamps. Install the K&N intake tube into the air filter and align with the turbo inlet. Make sure the bead on the tube is locked into the filter and tighten the filter clamp. Slide the coupler onto the turbo inlet, adjust the assembly for best fit, and then tighten the clamps on the inlet coupler. Once everything is secure, tighten the bolt inside the air filter housing. Using the provided extension harness, reconnect the mass air sensor electrical connection. Reconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable, double check to make sure everything is tight and properly positioned before starting the vehicle. And just like that, you're done. So let's go ahead and turn the truck on to see if we hear any difference in the amount of noise the intake makes. Okay, now when I installed the next gen intakes on my Ram, on the Power Wagon, and on the twin turbo Ram, there was a noticeable difference in sound and pitch inside the cabin. I will say right now that inside the truck, when I gave it those few revs, I actually didn't hear any noise inside the cabin, but the throttle response did feel a lot better. So let's go over some numbers from K&N and then let's go for a quick test drive. Guys, sitting inside the Super Duty, one thing I like to do is go over the dyno sheet that K&N provides. I got it pulled up on my phone here from the website so you can see the proven dyno horsepower numbers, and they typically test similar vehicles. So on my dyno sheet here, what I have is a 2022 Ford F250 with a 6.7. Now it does not state if it's a high output or a standard output, so there's gonna be a little bit of a difference there. So what it's showing on the dyno sheet was a 17.9 horsepower increase at 2,250 RPM. And then at 2,215 RPM, there was a 39.2 pound-feet of torque increase. So based off their dyno and their testing, they are showing a little bit of horsepower and a little bit of torque increase. One thing I like about the intakes, which I don't think they really put on there, is the throttle response. So again, when I rev the engine, typically you'll hear a little more intake noise inside the cabin. Truck is still pretty quiet, but it felt more responsive. So let's go ahead and I'll give you my first impressions of actually driving it around. Okay, so as I stated, it does not make a lot more of cabin or intake noise. I think that might just have to do with how loud the diesel is in general. But there is an immediate difference in throttle response, which in my previous videos I've always touched on being one of the things that is very important to me is throttle response. So again, no tune, bolt-on application, and I've already got better throttle response. It does feel a little peppier, but again, I'm in my neighborhood, so once I get some open road in front of me, I'm gonna goose it a little bit. I really need to get something to track like a quarter mile or a 0 to 60 time when I do these things. So when you accelerate from the low end, I can definitely hear the low end rumble that you would get if this was a gas engine. The diesel is just overpowering the sound of any intake noise, but at slow acceleration, I can hear that intake rumble. I can hear it sucking in the air like you do out of the next gen intake. So go ahead and floor it here and see if I feel any different. Again, these trucks are so fast. Oh man, I hardly ever floor this truck, but if she feels like she's got another 18, 19 horsepower for sure. And that throttle response, I think, is really what I'm feeling. So a little more torque, a little more horsepower. You can't complain, especially with what I use this truck for. So if you're looking for some quick horsepower and some instant throttle response without having to dealing with any tuning and having the option to revert back to a factory setup, I would highly consider this. Yeah, throttle response is 10 times better. That's probably my biggest takeaway right now. I dislike when you accelerate your vehicle and there is a lag in throttle. I want it to be that when I give it the input, I know it's gonna do it. And for some reason, when you do the K&N intake, when you do the intakes, you get that throttle response. So with that alone, I'm happy. And knowing that I've got a little more horsepower and torque, again, super happy. So this is awesome. And the last bit of that is that it looks super sleek under the hood. Now when I pop the hood, especially with this color combination that I have with the Avalanche and the black appearance package, which to me is the God spec on the F250, when I pop that hood and you see that nice finish of that intake box and you see that filter, that dry filter, everything nice and matte black, and you get those K&N colors, the orange and the red, right there. That is OEM plus, that is perfection. You can't ask for more. Typically, I would stop right there and just finish with the intake, but when it came to the Super Duty, I wanted to pair it with one more thing from K&N, and that is going to be the charge pipe. It's made out of aluminum, and what this does is increase airflow and actually reduces the turbocharged air pressure loss. What do I mean by that is that this is a hard pipe made out of aluminum, like I just said, but when you move over here, the charge pipe on the truck is actually a rubber. So this actually collapses and expands. So what we're gonna do is replace that with this piece right here, and that's gonna round out our whole K&N package for the day. The first step is to disconnect the negative battery cable. Then disconnect the vent line at the quick connect fitting. Disconnect the IAT sensor electrical connection and set the harness aside. Use a small screwdriver or similar device to unlock the retaining clip that secures the factory charge tube quick connect coupler. Some vehicles will be equipped with a tamper-proof cap. This fitting is not used on a K&N charge tube. Use a 7mm socket, loosen the factory hose clamp that secures the charge tube to the intercooler. Separate the charge tube from the throttle body. Separate the charge tube from the intercooler and then remove it from the vehicle. Remove the bolt that secures the power steering reservoir and set the reservoir to the side to aid with clearance during installation of the K&N charge tube. Install the provided elbow coupler onto the intercooler with the provided clamp, but do not tighten it. Remove the IAT sensor from the factory charge tube and install it into the K&N charge tube. Remove the O-ring and retaining clip from the factory charge tube and install them into the K&N charge tube. Install the K&N charge tube into the vehicle so the tube engages into the elbow coupler. Connect the quick connector to the throttle body. Push the coupler firmly until there is an audible click that is heard. Adjust the tube and elbow coupler for best fit, and then secure the hose clamps. Reinstall the power steering reservoir and secure with the factory bolt. Reconnect the IAT sensor electrical connection and position the vent lines and harness. Install the K&N decal, reconnect the vehicle's negative battery cable, double check to make sure everything is tight and properly positioned before starting the vehicle. Okay, I will be the first one to tell you that installing that charge pipe is a little more difficult because of how tight it is to get that pipe in there, and everything is super tight. But again, you can do it with hand tools, just a little patience. I had to stand on a toolbox because the Super Duty does sit so high, it's hard to kind of get in over there and get your hands in there. But other than that, it's installed, looks super clean, and it pairs very well with the next gen intake. I don't think there's gonna be any sound difference, but there is some different horsepower numbers with just that charge pipe. So let's take a look at those. So again, these numbers come in your instructions, but I have them here on my phone. So if you were to do the charge pipe alone, looking at their data sheet here, their dyno sheet, it was a stock 2017 250 6.7 turbo diesel. Again, the truck that I have is a high output 6.7, but just changing out the charge pipe netted a 10.5 horsepower increase and a 12 pound-feet of torque increase. So I don't know what the collective amounts of total horsepower and torque increases with the charge pipe and the next gen intake. I would have had to done a dyno beforehand to get those real world numbers, especially on the high output. That's already a completely new engine. But yeah, super easy install. Let's go ahead and do a test drive. So I've got about 4 miles and everything now. Truck is warmed up. Everything should be nice and expanded. So we're about to do a nice little pull here. Let's see, 15 miles an hour. Traction light. And full tilt. Yeah, that's good. So, traction light came on. Cut a little bit of power, but I was completely floored. Again, my biggest takeaway is twofold. Is throttle response, and it's still a quiet ride on the inside. So if you want your truck to breathe better, have more CFM, I recommend just doing both of these at the same time. That way you can knock out 2 birds with 1 stone. Don't do it the way I did it, one at a time. I'm kind of one of those, like, I'll just do one thing at a time and see how everything feels. I'm telling you right now, just go ahead and do the charge pipe and do the next gen intake if you're trying to go the route that I went. And on top of that, the cherry on top is that it is aesthetically pleasing. So let's get back to the house, and I got some closing thoughts for those of you who are still on the fence about the intake systems. All right, guys, that is going to wrap up today's video in its entirety on the Super Duty. The Super Duty finally got some love and some of the best products that I believe are out there, and that's going to be from K&N. I promise you guys that are on the fence about getting the intake for whatever reason, the first reason I always hear about is that the filters are oiled. The filter that comes on this kit is actually a dry filter, so there's no oil going in, going to mess up your sensors or any of those things that you've read online. And then there's other things you can actually do, like for example, this is a dry charger air filter wrap. So you can actually add this for even more protection around that air filter, something that I'm adding to my drift car. But if you don't want to do the intake systems, K&N actually offers filtration for everything, your air cabin filter. You can simply do a drop-in cabin air intake filter that you can just clean and continue to reuse, and you don't have to do a full intake system. So K&N isn't just about performance, it is about filtration. This truck is also going to be running the diesel filters as well as the cabin filter and a oil filter. So everything on this truck that is filtration is going to be K&N because I believe in it that much. I use K&N on the drift car, and I put those products through absolute abuse, and they just keep taking it, and it's very rare that I have to replace any parts from K&N. So I really believe in this brand, and I believe in the products that they put out because I've been using them for years. On that last note, they are a company that, again, they just always push the envelope. So you can do just drop-in filters. You can do wipers from K&N. And as a matter of fact, inside my house, right behind me, my HVAC system is a K&N filter. So I've been running K&N filters on all sorts of stuff. I believe in them. My Jeep CJ7, everything has been K&N filtration. But if you're looking for power and reliable filtration. Again, the Super Duty is rocking everything from K&N, and that is for a reason. The new Pro-Am car will be doing the same thing, but that's just my take on it, guys. I love working with this company. I love being a part of the team, especially on the performance side, and getting the absolute most out of my products without a ton of work. So if you got any questions on the Super Duty, if you have any questions on install or anything like that, go ahead and leave me a comment below and I will do my best to answer those questions. I will be doing a follow-up. You know, this is my bad boy truck. I love this thing. So we got a couple of road trips ahead of us, and I will do a follow-up after so many miles on how everything is holding up and let you guys know. So I hope you enjoyed today's video, and I will catch you in the next one. So peace out.